Hey Jerry, how's it going? Kelsey here at Mixed Digital Marketing. Just want to leave you a quick video in regards to some SEO recommendations we recommend you doing to your website to help you ranking higher in Google. So we'll go over three things. The first is content, second is backlinks, third are citations. So content is the first two words on the page. To your home page, we recommend 1,000 to 1,500 words. And each additional service page, we recommend 500 to 750 words. And so this is because primarily within Google's algorithm, it can't really determine how nice a website is. So really all I can rely upon are the words that are written there. So that's why in terms of your homepage being the most important page of your website, we recommend an abundance of words. And these are just not any words, these are the right keywords. And so let's take a look at your website and see what you got going on. And so here I can see your website, and now you let me know it's made on Wix, and overall it looks pretty good. It's pretty easy to read, but I think there is a little bit more room to add some more content. And as well as locations, I would recommend creating different service pages, especially for areas that get enough search volume. So some of the bigger populated areas around Birmingham, I would recommend then creating a separate page for those. And then that way, if people are looking up bounce houses and say Hoover, that Hoover page is what's populating and will rank well in Google, not your home page trying to rank for so many different locations. So that tends to not work as well in Google's eyes. And so you may be wondering, well, okay, how do I know what kind of the right keywords are, what the search volume is? And so, which is a great question. But we use a program called Ahrefs. So in this program, we're able to plug in any website on the web, kind of spits out some feedback and rankings for us. So here you can see I plugged in your website, and you have a rank, and the rank is in the millions, which is totally fine though, because we're talking about billions of websites on the web. What we really care about is kind of everything to the right. So the UR rating is a rating of both your on-site and your off-site SEO, and primarily for the homepage that we're on. So 14 is not bad. It's a ranking from 1 to 100, or 0 to 100, I'm sorry. And the stronger your website is, the higher this number becomes. The DR rating is a domain rating, strictly the rating of your off-site SEO. So off-site SEO is driven by what we call backlinks. And so backlinks you can see here are 106, but really what is actually driven by are going to be your referring domains. So referring domains are websites that have a backlink on them. And to take a step back, a backlink is a hyperlink that you find on articles or blog posts. When you click on it, it leads to another website. And so you want to have as many of these as possible because Google loves these. It's kind of like another website's referring you, and the more people that refer you, the more popular that Google thinks you are, and the more relevant and higher that it feels it needs to rank you. And so, aside further than that, though, what we really care about are going to be do follow referring domains. And so, as you get, not every website has to lend you power. And so, we want to get the ones that do. And the stronger that these websites are that do lend you power, the more power that you get in return. And so, the higher these ratings become, you start ranking for more organic keywords, getting more traffic value. So, let's take a look at Bounce House in Birmingham and see what we got going on. So, I just typed in Bounce House Birmingham, Alabama, which is getting over 100 searches per month, this exact phrase. And usually you see a Google ad section at the top where people are paying a premium to be on top of Google. But that only gets about 20% of the volume. So that leaves 80% for the rest of the field. 40% typically comes from the map pack, which I see here on the top here, and 40% comes from the organic search. Being in the top map pack consistently usually is driven by your organic rating. And so your organic rating is doing pretty well. It could be also because I've been clicking on your website a few times, and so that's why it thinks it's relevant in Google's eyes, and that's why you're appearing at the top here. But on average, you want to make sure that you're always in the top 3, so that way you're getting the most clicks as possible. And you're also doing a great job on reviews. But it's also important to get as many of these as positive as possible, and also responding to people when they comment on these. But the second thing that affects being in the top 3 in the map pack are what we call citations. So citations are online directories like Yellow Pages, or even in Facebook and Yelp, where you have your business name, address, and phone number listed exactly as you have it set up in Google My Business. And so you want to make sure they're set up exactly the same, or so you don't get proper credit from Google. And so with this long length here, we have a different software that allows us to check how many citations you have and making sure that your name, address, and phone number are set up exactly as you have it set up here. And so I would just be careful with this long length that you're not getting proper credit across the board for the citations that you may or may not have set up. And so that's something to take a look out for, and that will really help drive your local SEO. And so the organic rating, as I mentioned before, is driven by that offsite and onsite SEO. And so let's take a look at FundSource Inc., because I'm one of your top competitors here, and see what they got going on. So here's FundSource's website. They have a pretty good website as well, really easy to read. They also don't have that much content, but what they do have are a lot of pages. I mean, you can see here all the different offerings that they have. They've kind of sorted it differently, so that's what's allowing them to be able to appear for a fair amount of things. But also, I plugged their website into Ahrefs, and you can see they have a stronger rank in ratings thus far. So UR is 32, which is pretty good. That's a lot is due to the number of pages and content that they have on there. And their DR is 12, just slightly higher. But you can see here they have 165 referring domains and 112 are do follow, which is actually a fair amount. But I would typically expect a much higher DR than this with this many do follows. So this just tells me that a lot of these do follows are just very weak websites that they've gotten. That's why their power is not that strong. But you can still see that they're ranking for a lot of keywords and having the potential to rank for more traffic and traffic value. It's just an algorithm based on this software that just gives you a value proposition. But those are some SEO recommendations I recommend you make into your website. If you want to learn more about what we can do, please visit www.mixdigitalmarketing.com. Thank you.